Today on the channel, I'm going to show you this really weird amp that I bought a couple weeks ago and give you a glimpse of what it was like if you played guitar in the 60s. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to show you this really strange Silvertone amplifier that I bought a couple of weeks ago at my friend Todd and Jamie's music store in Nashville. It was on consignment at Tone Central Station. Cool shop, by the way. Take a look. Link in the description below for Tone Central Station. But I bought this Silvertone 804A amplifier for 125 bucks. I think I overpaid for it by about $125. In all seriousness, actually it's a really cool amplifier. These were made by Dan Electro from what I understand, and so I'm playing this Dan Electro Hodad from around the year 1999. This is a vibey, cool guitar that sounds, actually it's the only guitar that I own that really sounds good through this Silvertone amplifier. I keep wanting to call it a Dan Electro amplifier, but these were sold by Sears, Roebuck and Company in the 60s. You could probably buy it through the catalog or in stores. I'll get some close-up photos of it, and then I'll give you a sound demo of what this sounds like. And it's kind of crazy. In a weird way, it's cool, and I think in the right setting for the right recording or the right track, it would actually fit perfectly. But it is a unique sound to say the least. So let's check it out. I'll get some close-up images of the amplifier, explain what it does, what it can do to the best of my knowledge, and we'll do some audio. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, so check it out. It's got this grill cloth on the front that's got this weird gold threading through it, and the top of the amplifier has got 3 inputs, so I'm kind of curious if you could run 3 things at once. I've tried doing jumping with it, and it doesn't really change any of the distortion or anything on the amplifier. It's really a clean amplifier. It does break up a little bit if you turn it on 10. So here's your volume, and then this is the on-off switch, like the old stereo systems that would turn off, and then the higher that you dial this is your tone. So it's an on-off switch and a tone knob. Then you've got this vibrato. This is the strength. This is how loud the vibrato goes, and then how fast the vibrato goes. And it actually had a foot switch. So I think the foot switch probably turned the vibrato on and off, which is interesting. Now if we look at the back of the amplifier, now this thing just has your typical granny cable, you know, total fire hazard. Not an amplifier you want to leave plugged in all the time, especially overnight or if you're out of the house. But inside this amplifier, it looks like we've got an 8-inch speaker. The speaker is in decent shape. Everything looks to be original. Can't really get up in there and video it. It doesn't have a whole lot of information that I can read on this speaker. It's just got some numbers on it, so I'm really not sure what that is. Internet might provide some information on that. But it's solid state, and it's pretty cheap. Feels like kind of like cardboard press wood or something, which I'm sure it is. It's really low budget, but you know, the thing sounds really terrible with like a Les Paul or a Strat through it. It's just very thin. But for whatever reason, with the Dan Electro guitar, it sounds nice, pretty much. And I'm going to run a Hall of Fame reverb pedal through it at some point in this demo to give you an idea of what it sounds like with a little bit of reverb. And we'll do the tremolo vibrato as well. So let's take a look at it, okay, and check it out. This is guitar in the 60s, man. Groovy. Okay, so I've got a Short 57 running in front of the amplifier. I'm going to just do some riffs. It's going to be all clean stuff because that's what this amp does. I'm going to do some vibrato and show you some of the vibrato settings. Then I will run my Hall of Fame reverb in front of it just to give you an idea of, what this thing sounds like with a little bit of ambience and clarity. So I think in the right scenario, this amplifier would sound decent in a recording. So let me know what you think. These are the tones of the 60s. Let's do it. Okay, so there you have it. That's the Silvertone 804A from the early 60s, mid 60s. And it reminds me of growing up in the 80s, even when there wasn't a lot of musical gear at our fingertips. Nowadays, we have everything that you can imagine and more, and it's more and more every day. It's like excessive, and which is good. Don't get me wrong. But back when all you had was this and maybe a crybaby pedal or a fuzz. You had to use those tools, those minimal tools, and create art. And I think that necessity is the mother of invention, like they say, and that is, I think that's the saying anyway. And you use the tools that you've got to create the art that is inside you, and I think that drives us to be more creative artists and create better music in many ways. I could be wrong, and I'm not trying to sound like a music snob here, because I'm all for technology and new amps and all the great things. Lord knows, I'm a gear junkie, but there is something to be said about just having a basic guitar, a basic amp, and limiting yourself to maybe just one or two pedals and vibing on that tone for a while, and you'll be surprised what you can come up with. And seeing stuff like this is inspirational, and playing through stuff like this is inspirational. May not be the best tone in the world to some, but it's a lot of fun, and that's what music's all about. I hope you enjoy this kind of content. If you did, please consider subscribing, comment below, and as always, have a great day. Peace out.